Hi, this is Christy Miller for College View Middle School. I'm one of the school counselors here, and this quick video is about taking the ACT, some tips and reminders, and how you can help prepare for it. This video is for those students who have already signed up for the ACT. They have paid for the test. They have a registration ticket that they printed offline, and they have their identification form. You have to have these two things with you the day of the test. This identification form is something that we fill out here at College View, and you can contact me in the guidance office, Christy Miller, or Tanya Ratliff, she's in the guidance office as well, to fill one of these forms out. It's gonna have your name on there, your birth date, a picture that I get from Infinite Campus. You will sign it in my presence and date it. I will sign it and date it, indicating that I saw you sign that in my presence, and I'll put a school seal on it. The admission ticket, again, that's what you print off online, and it's going to give you all the details that you need about where to take the test. If something happens, if you happen to be quarantined or you come down with COVID, you can check out act.org and go to frequently asked questions and help, or look at their COVID, and it'll tell you what you need to do if you have to reschedule your test. Again, know that you can check ACT's website to find out if your ACT test location has been shut down for that Saturday. And to find the most current up-to-date information, check out ACT's website under test cancellations. So in preparing for the ACT, the biggest thing that I could tell you to do is to take one of these preparing for the ACT. In this booklet, you can also find this online, but if you prefer a paper copy, in this booklet, it's going to indicate different parts of the test. There are 4 different sections to the test, and it's going to tell you exactly what topics are going to be on there. So, for example, in English, it says, for topic development and organization, unity, and cohesion in the production of writing, that will be 29 to 32%. And knowledge of language, that is 13 to 19%. Each section will have that on there. In the back of this test booklet, there are practice tests. I recommend that you take the practice test. You do not have to take the entire test in one sitting. If you decide to take the English section at one time yourself to see how well you do. You can take the math later and the science later, but do make sure that you take every portion of the test. One of the things that you can do to reduce some of your test anxiety is to know the layout of the test. Know what to expect, because the layout is the same every time. For example, the math section, it's not arranged in order of difficulty. For the science section has experiments that are on there that ask, the questions that they ask, you don't necessarily have to know all the scientific data behind the questions that they ask. They want you to be able to read charts and diagrams and to be able to come to some conclusions. So if I flip to the science portion of the test, it will give me some information, but you will see there are diagrams showing different, depending on what the question is, showing different relationships, and you have to put them together. The reading portion of the test, there are always 4 sections, 4 reading passages. One is going to be a fiction piece, one is a social science piece, one is a natural science, and the other one, sorry, I've lost my train of thought, will be on humanities. Another thing that you can do is actually purchase the ACT study guide. You can find that on ACT's website, of course. That's a really big, thick book, but you need to know that most of that booklet, that's so big, there's about 5 practice tests in there. So in order to prepare for it, if you want to prepare for it, the first 100 pages, the font is large. There are not many words on every page. It's going to give you some tips for each section of the test. Okay. Another thing that you can do is ACT has an academy. When you sign up for it, you'll see it on there that you can do free online practice. Khan Academy is another, so let me show you where you find that. Oh, page not found. But it is under students. It was there last week, so I apologize for that. ACT Academy, it's a free place for you to go. Khan Academy is a great place to study for lots of things, no matter what grade that you're in. It goes from kindergarten all the way up to if you're preparing for medical school, some classes there. So the overview of the ACT, tips, questions, etc. And so you can find out some things there, deciding whether you should retake it, standardized test, just some tips on there that may be helpful for you. You don't have to prepare for it at all if you just want to take it and see how you do. But you can take the ACT up to 12 times total. I'm telling you, the layout is the same. The more familiar you are with the test, the better that you'll do. Typically, students' score will go up each time they take it. Something new for ACT that they have just added. Once a student has taken the entire ACT, they can go back and register to take up certain portions of the ACT again if they want their score to be a little bit higher. So for example, in the past, students had to take all 4 tests and they had 1 score at the end. Now students can take the whole test. They have to do that with all 4 portions. And then if they weren't satisfied with their math, they can sign up to take the math portion again, and perhaps they want to take the reading portion again. So that is something new that ACT has added and colleges recognize. So again, I talked to you about knowing the layout of the test. English 75 questions, 45 minutes. 60 minutes, 60 questions. The reading and science are both 35 minutes each. There is a break between the math and the reading test. It's about 10 minutes. You are actually testing it for 2 hours and 55 minutes, but depending on how many students are in the room, remember, for every standardized test, there is the beginning part of the test where the proctor will read something like, "Welcome to the ACT. The ACT is a standardized test," etc. Then they will tell you about each portion and they will say, "You may begin," and then they'll put the time on the board. So that will take up some of the time that you will actually be at your testing center. So for the ACT without writing, they actually begin reading directions at 8 o'clock. So you need to be there at 7:30. Just so you can get in line, make sure you have everything ready to go the night before so you're not concerned about that. Know where to park if you can or where you need to be dropped off. Knowing the layout's going to help you. All right, so what do you bring on testing day? Your ticket, your ID form, right? You have to wear a mask, approved calculators. If you can use the calculator in your math class at school, then you will be able to use it on the test. And if you don't have a calculator, you can borrow one from your math teacher and take that with you. There are other calculators besides what I've shown. You can look on act.org to find out what other acceptable versions. Number 2 pencils, they will not allow mechanical pencils, so make sure that you have the type of pencils that you like, and also bring a good eraser. You know as well as I do, with some pencils, the eraser is not great and it leaves a big pink mark. So make sure that you bring an eraser that will erase everything, and so that will reduce your anxiety on the day of the test. There will be a clock in every room, but if you want to have something nearby, make sure that you bring a watch that is not digital or it's not going to make any noises. You do not need to bring your phone with you on the test, on testing date. So be at the testing center early. They begin reading directions around 8, and you will be done with the ACT around 12 o'clock, 11:45, 12 o'clock. That's typically when students start releasing, okay? You have to stay there the entire portion of the test. No one leaves early. So there's time built in there for that. Always bring a sweater or jacket no matter what time of year it is. In some of the rooms that I've been in, they have been so cold that students are uncomfortable and they cannot concentrate on taking the test because they really are freezing. It could be that it's really warm in there. So bring something that you can put on or take off very easily so that you are at your best comfort level. While you cannot eat or drink during the test, you can bring a snack and a drink for your break in between the math and the reading portion. You'll have to put those away. You can't have your water next to you on your desk. Sometimes there are vending machines at the testing locations and they are empty. So please bring a snack for yourself. You will be tired. This may be the first time that you've taken such a long test, and so having a snack will help. Again, on the cell phone, do not bring it. If you do bring it, they may ask for you to turn them in. If the phone goes off during the test, it is possible that your ACT score could be canceled, as well as other people in that particular testing. You don't want to be responsible for that, so just don't even bring it. If you have any questions, you can email me at College View, or you can call me and I'll be happy to help. So good luck as you prepare for it. Know the layout and know what to expect, and be prepared for the test. You have everything with you the night before, so all you have to do on that day is eat a breakfast, show up at the testing center, and do your best. Thanks, and good luck.